sample by using nephelometric turbidity meter. So now you might have studied about the process of coagulation, right? For the removal of turbidity, we need to perform coagulation, and the details of this process you will be studying in your theory class. So the chemical that we use for the process of coagulation is known as coagulant, and you might be aware that the most commonly used coagulant is alum. Okay, so in this experiment we are going to find optimum dose of alum for the efficient removal of turbidity. Okay, so why do we need to perform this? Like what is the need? So see, the more is the dose of coagulant, the more efficiently will the turbidity be removed. Okay, but up to certain limit, like after one optimum point after one maximum point, even that added coagulant adds to the turbidity. Okay, so we need to find that particular point, the particular dose at which turbidity is removed most efficiently, and because we are using this chemical, this adds to the cost of the treatment, right? So whenever there is a cost, we need to optimize that. So for this we will be using jar test apparatus. Okay, so you just go through download that IS 10500 2012 and read each and every limit of drinking water. Okay, so for turbidity, the acceptable limit is 1 NTU and permissible is 5 NTU. Okay, and so go through that IS code once and read all the limits. So today we have prepared the alum solution, like standard alum solution, and we will be using these doses. Okay, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1, 1.2 mg per liter. So we have prepared 1% alum solution, and we need to take these doses. Okay, so in ml that would be 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1 and 1.2 ml only. Okay, so first what do we need to do? We have a water sample, so we need to first measure the raw turbidity of that sample. The measurement you have already seen in the previous practical. So we will first see the raw turbidity. So raw turbidity was 223 NTU. Okay, so now what we will do? In jar test apparatus, we will take 6 beakers with 1 liter, that is 1000 ml of water sample in that, and we will be adding these doses to different beakers. Okay, after addition of these doses to respective beakers, what we need to do? First, we will set our regulator to 80 rpm speed and for 30 seconds. Okay, that will be flash mixing or rapid mixing. After that, we will lower that regulator to 30 rpm for 15 minutes, and this would be slow mixing. Okay, after that, after slow mixing, we need to keep it in idle condition for 20 minutes, and this will be sedimentation state. Okay, so let's just start the experiment. So this is jar test apparatus. We have kept the 6 beakers here with 1000 ml water sample in each beaker. Here we have taken alum doses from 0.2, this is 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1 and 1.2 mg per liter. We need to add all the doses simultaneously. Add. And start flash mixing at 80 rpm for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, we have set this to 30 rpm and now we need to wait for 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, we have stopped the flash mixing and we have kept all those things in idle condition. So we'll do this up to 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes of sedimentation, we can see the beakers. It's clearly visible that for 0.2 mg per liter coagulant dose, the process of coagulation was not that effective, and we can see for the maximum dose we have taken as 1.2 mg per liter. So the water here is clearer than the water in first beaker. So okay, we need to now measure the residual turbidities of this water. Okay, so raw turbidity of water was common in all the beakers, right? It was 223 NTU. So now what do we need to do? We need to measure the turbidity of each and every beaker's sample. Okay, and then we will plot a graph. So these are the readings of residual turbidity that we have taken from each beaker for each coagulant dose. So what do we need to do after this? We need to plot a graph. Residual turbidity on y-axis and this coagulant doses on x-axis. Okay? And we need to plot a curve, like smooth curve. And we need to go for 20 NTU turbidity. Now we have seen here that acceptable limit is 1 NTU and permissible limit is 5 NTU. Then why do we take 20 NTU? Why do we go for 20 NTU when it comes for the optimum coagulant dose? Because just go through your, you might have learned in your water treatment processes that what are those processes? Just go and read once. So during those processes like sedimentation, then filtration, the turbidity gets reduced to this limits. Okay, so why should we go for extra limits? No, like if we are getting 20 NTU here, then that turbidity will be further reduced in those steps. So for optimum coagulant dose, 20 NTU is taken as standard. So okay, what we have done, we have just plotted the graph. Then we will drop one vertical line from 20 NTU, and here we will get optimum coagulant dose. So in this case, the optimum coagulant dose was somewhere 0.3 mg per liter. Okay, so this was all about this experiment. If you have any query or doubt regarding this, you can contact Latkarna. Okay, bye bye, thank you.